Good evening, I'm Nicole Weisberg. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, a historic moment. People here in Edmonton and around the globe gather to watch NASA's mission to the moon. Not a hate crime. Police give an update on a deadly shooting on the QE2. And changing roles in the classroom. Why some say new legislation amounts to teacher censorship.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Nicole Weisberg.
Just moments ago, Artemis 2 launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
It is the first crewed mission to the moon in more than 50 years. Canadian Jeremy Hansen and 3 other astronauts are out on a 10-day mission, expected to travel further into space than any humans before. Around 400 Edmontonians are gathered at the TELUS World of Science right now to watch all of this unfold. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti is at that watch party. And Miriam, what was it like for people there watching this launch?
Well, Nicole, it's a really exciting time to be here. There were so many kids inside the dome just screaming and cheering for Artemis 2, waving their Canadian flags and just showing their pride overall for this mission. And so I did have a chance to speak with one Edmontonian who went on a mission himself all the way down to Florida to watch the launch in person. Zachary Aubert runs the Launchpad, an online space platform that provides live updates and space news. He was invited by NASA to see the Artemis 2 launch in Florida. He grew up watching the Apollo program, the first time humans went to the moon, and has been hooked ever since. While people are watching across the world, Aubert says there's nothing like seeing the spaceship in person.
A launch is something you have to experience. Many of us joke once you have one, you become addicted. There is just something about the power, the vibrations, the feeling that you get. And it's different with every rocket. There's a physical reaction to it. And most launches you watch are cargo, but this one has a crew on board. And there's something just really special about being able to be here in that moment.
And Aubert says the atmosphere on Merritt Island has been buzzing with enthusiasm for space. About 40,000 people are in the area tonight, and Aubert does plan to head to the Johnston Space Center to keep track of the mission, as now that the spaceship has gone into space. And so after the break, I'll be speaking with a person from the TELUS World of Science after the break, so we can learn a little bit more about what's happening.
Thank you so much, Miriam. We'll talk to you soon. Well, the provincial government says proposed changes to the Education Act are designed to encourage conversation on topics and viewpoints that are unfairly silenced in classrooms. However, some teachers say the legislation amounts to censorship and adds additional stress when schools are facing more serious and immediate struggles. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
I think every teacher starts off with the premise of we all have our own opinion.
In his 30-plus years teaching social studies to junior high students, Gary Nelson discussed some touchy subjects like politics and human rights. It's a practice he worries fewer teachers will pursue under newly proposed legislation.
The path to sound judgment is through vigorous discussion and debate. And what we're saying is you can't have that vigorous discussion and debate. The teacher certainly cannot be allowed to even be the moderator.
Bill 25 makes a number of changes to the Education Act, including a requirement that teachers ensure all viewpoints from students are treated equally, even if they believe those views are misinformed or potentially harmful. Education Minister Dimitrios Nikolaides says the goal is to remove ideology and bias from the classroom.
The changes that we've made in the legislation help support critical thinking and help support discussion of maybe controversial or challenging topics, because we're safeguarding a student's right in the bill to express diverse viewpoints.
Whether it's the impact of the oil and gas industry, LGBTQ rights, or even flat earth theory, Nelson believes teachers have a responsibility to separate facts from opinions for their students.
8, 9, 10-year-old kids, they don't know all the information, and they will come into their classes with a lot of mistruths, misinformation, partial information, and complete lies.
Opposition leader Naheed Nenshi believes the new rules on classroom bias bias are redundant.
I believe kids are smart. I believe they need to learn how to deal with opposing views the way this government has never learned, and we should trust teachers to do their jobs.
The Teachers Association says existing professional standards already cover bias among educators. Staffing and classroom size and complexity remain the union's top issues. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is putting forward legislation that would give it more power over immigration. The Immigration Oversight Act would require employers to register with the province before accessing federal temporary foreign worker programs. It would also create a licensing system for immigration consultants and recruiters. Alberta's immigration minister says Bill 26 would give the province information it was not receiving from Ottawa and put up safeguards for workers.
We're taking all legal means possible, which is in my mandate letter from the Premier, to take more control over provincial immigration. And in doing so, it will support the businesses in Alberta, and it will create a more transparent process for people coming from out of country to work.
The province says these tools are already in place in Saskatchewan and BC. If passed, the legislation would be implemented over time. The UCP government is also proposing changes to legislation to implement parts of the budget. The UCP introduced Bill 27 today. If passed, it will amend 5 pieces of legislation, including the Seniors Benefit Act. Changes would apply a 9% income threshold adjustment to non-deductible income for low-income seniors.
We're balancing fiscal responsibility with the need to protect the long-term sustainability of programs seniors rely on and focusing supports on those seniors who need them most.
Bill 27 will also make changes to the Automobile Insurance Act. This will help Alberta transition to what the province calls a care-first model. Well, police have made another arrest in connection with a deadly shooting on the QE2. Police won't yet reveal the motivation behind the shooting, but say it was not a hate crime. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
RCMP believe that we now have arrested and charged all suspects in relation to this incident.
A second person has been charged in a deadly daytime shooting on the QE2.
23-year-old Dion Libsicle, who was already in custody on unrelated matters, was arrested in Edmonton.
In mid-March, on this stretch of highway south of Leduc, Barinder Singh was driving with 2 friends. Police say he was in the left lane when a truck approached on the right.
They previously had no knowledge of each other until they came upon each other driving south on the highway.
Police say the friends in the car said they were shown a peace sign from the people in the truck, which they returned. Soon after, police say 2 shots were fired at the car, killing 23-year-old Singh.
Our victims were true victims that had no criminal history, but our suspects have a criminal history.
Libsicle, who police believe was driving the truck, is charged with second-degree murder and accessory after the fact. 18-year-old Jimmy Gassner, police believe was the passenger and possible shooter, is also facing second-degree murder charges.
In our investigation, we could show that there was absolutely no planning. This was probably occurred and became an incident within 2 minutes. We have seen no evidence to suggest that this attack was motivated by hatred or racial bias against any specific group.
Investigators have also ruled out road rage, robbery, and gang initiation. While trying to protect the investigation and court process, police couldn't yet rule out mistaken identity or say if it was a random incident.
We can't promise this is never going to happen again. That being said, this is something that is a very rare instance. This doesn't happen often, and I think that, people can still feel safe driving on the road and not have to worry about something like this happening to them.
The accused remain in custody. Libsicle is due in court tomorrow. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Weather time now, and Josh joins us from the Full House Lottery Dream Home in Keswick. How's it going, Josh?
Spectacular. This is a beautiful house. We'll show you a little bit more about the house in a second. Of course, the Full House Lottery supports the Royal Alex and University of Alberta Hospital Foundations. And to talk a little bit more about the big deadline that is midnight tonight, President and CEO with the Royal Alexandra Hospital Foundation, Charlene Rutherford, is here. How are you, Charlene?
I'm great. How are you, Josh?
I'm spectacular. I love the jacket, by the way.
Thank you.
This is very nice.
Easter colors on.
Yeah. And a little bit of gold for some winning, which is people need to get their tickets by midnight tonight if they want to do some winning in the early bird prize. Now, sometimes the early bird prize there's just one prize. This is winning and winning and winning.
100%, not just one prize, 31 prizes. So if you get your tickets by midnight tonight, you are enrolled into the draw for the early bird, and that is every day in May. We are drawing for a vacation package. Now what you get is a $35,000 voucher that you can spend however you want on your vacation. Okay.
A little private jet to an island somewhere, whatever you want.
You can cover a lot of ground with $35,000 with that travel voucher.
Winnipeg 15 times.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you can go further than Red Deer, that's for sure. Yeah. Or you can take $25,000 cash.
Right.
So we're doing that 31 times in May.
So there are 31 early bird prize winners. So get your tickets before midnight tonight. If you're thinking at all about buying tickets and helping support the Royal Alex and the University Hospital Foundations and cardiac care at those institutions, get them before midnight tonight. You get a chance to win this spectacular house. There are 4 grand prizes and those 31 days of winning in the month of May. I briefly mentioned cardiac care. That's where the proceeds are going this year.
100%. I think everyone knows someone who's been touched by cardiac care. And we have 2 of the best in the city that support, Alberta, throughout the north, into the Northwest Territories. The C.K. Huey Heart Centre at the Royal Alex, the Alberta Mazankowski Heart Institute at the University of Alberta Hospital. We have the best cardiac care in the province right here, and there isn't a corner of those 2 institutions that haven't been touched by this lottery.
Okay.
Yes, it supports cardiac care and all of those patients.
World-class facilities, and we want to keep them that way. So get your tickets at fullhouse.ca and do it before midnight tonight. $35,000 travel voucher is pretty sweet. Or $25K cash. Charlene, thank you. We'll talk to you again tonight at 6. First, let's quickly take a look outside with the CTV drone. Drone's brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Had some sunshine through the first half of the day. Clouds have rolled in this afternoon, and that has at least partly contributed to the drop in temperature. We got to 4 degrees for a daytime high. We're currently at 2. There are some flurries in the forecast for tonight and some periods of light snow for tomorrow as well. I'll tell you how much snow to expect in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. After the break, an update on MAID recipient John Maloney and his lasting legacy.
John died with dignity.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
An update now to a story we brought you 1 week ago. John Maloney, a blind man approved for medical assistance in dying, went through with the MAID procedure. His close friends say he died with dignity and forever changed the lives of others by donating his organs.
John didn't like to use his cane. He liked that human connection.
Tom Langner and John Maloney met more than 20 years ago through a mutual friend, quickly connecting over philosophical conversations.
We loved going out for lunch. There's our regular spots that people always recognize us coming in, because people don't forget some guy walking in and somebody has his hand on my shoulder kind of leading him in.
A few years ago, the 2 traveled to Victoria together. John was completing an in-person residency at Royal Roads University. He also crossed something off his bucket list.
Of course, we find this breakwater with all jagged rocks, and the waves were crashing up against it. And but I got him to the end of that thing like he wanted to, and you have to reach down and touch the ocean. And
last Friday, Tom picked John up from his home and drove him to the hospital for a medically assisted death. The day before, John learned he could donate several organs, his lungs, a kidney, bone, and tissue after dying.
You will absolutely live on in these people. So important to him.
I was going through sight loss pretty much for my whole life.
3 days prior, John spoke to CTV News about his decision. He said he was tormented by an incurable condition that replaced his sight with nonstop visual hallucinations, contributing to severe insomnia. He learned track 2 MAID was an option after attempting suicide 2 years ago.
He tried taking things into his own hands, and now you don't get the dignity and respect.
New legislation from the province would limit MAID to people whose deaths are foreseeable within 12 months. Tom believes it should be an individual's choice and supported John in his.
Right from the testing of the organs right up until, prepping him for surgery. Everyone was just so wonderful, respectful. And I'll say it again, that, John died with dignity.
Well, here's another look at the Artemis 2 launch that happened about 40 minutes ago. This was the reaction from people at the TELUS World of Science. Well, this is the first time in more than 50 years that astronauts are flying to the moon. Millions of people around the world watched the liftoff, which happened around 4:30. One of them is our Miriam Valdez-Carletti. And Miriam, you're talking to someone at the TELUS World of Science.
Yes, it's been a really exciting time here. I'm actually joined by Joel Weatherly, who is a lead science presenter at the TELUS World of Science. It's a really exciting time. Tell me a little bit now that Artemis 2 is in space. What is happening now for their journey?
Yeah, thanks. It's a really awesome time to be out there exploring space. So they're going to be testing out a few things over the next day or so, making sure that the capsule is ready for the journey to the moon. And then about a day's time, they're going to be firing up their engines and heading off to the moon.
Okay, and when are they expected to return?
So this mission, it's around 10 days total. So they're going to be flying around Earth for about a day or so, then heading out to the moon for a few days, looping around the far side, and then coming back home. And so in about 10 days' time, they'll be splashing down in the Pacific Ocean under parachutes and get scooped up by a Navy vessel.
And what's the biggest takeaway and what we're expected to learn from this mission?
Well, this is really a test mission, so they're going to be making sure that the capsule is ready for future exploration. They're going to be checking out all the systems on board, making sure that everything from communications and avionics to their food and water systems are all in good working order. And they're also going to be doing some awesome science, too. They're going to be studying biology and even looking at the moon itself, taking some amazing photos with massive cameras and even just iPhones.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Joel. Back to you, Nicole.
Thank you, Miriam. Well, still to come, the Oilers tie together 4 wins in a row, but the celebration isn't so sweet.
What's your favorite cupcake?
I'm not much of a cupcake guy. I'm not an icing guy.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
For the first time this season, the Oilers have won 4 in a row. The Oilers blanked the Seattle Kraken 3-0. They're now within 2 points of the division lead. Connor Ingram made 27 saves for the shutout, which happened to be on his 29th birthday. A treat was waiting for him after the game.
They sing happy birthday to you after the game?
No, thank God. Cake? No, not here. I think Sarah's got some cupcakes for me at home, though. Oh, I'm excited for it.
What's your favorite cupcake?
I'm not much of a cupcake guy. I'm not an icing guy. Yeah, she brought home a cookie, and that's what I've been eyeing up all day. Yeah, a little mini egg cookie. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get into it.
The Oilers host the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Nice to see the Oilers on a bit of a win streak, and Josh is down at the Full House Lottery Dream Home in Keswick, which you can also win.
And this is a spectacular dream home. It's a beautiful layout. Legacy did a great job with this home. There's also, and we'll show you this tonight at 6, a 3-seasons room and a sauna built onto the lower level of this house that is to die for. It's worth $2.45 million. You could win this house plus $50,000 cash. That's one of 4 grand prizes, but the big deadline is midnight tonight. It's the early bird prize deadline, and not just one early bird prize, 31 days of getaways. You get a $35,000 travel voucher that you can go anywhere with, or $25,000 cash. So go to fullhouse.ca before midnight tonight. Get in on that early bird prize deadline. All right, take a look outside right now with the River Valley Sky Camps, brought to you by Action Furnace Fixed Right. It's free. Cloudy skies outside right now, and 2 degrees after a high of 4 earlier today. Still at 4 in Red Deer as well as Jasper, and 1 to 3 for current temperatures across the northeast. Red Deer south towards Calgary under a weather statement. Some heavier pockets of snow. I think most areas between Red Deer and Calgary are probably going to pick up about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, but there will be pockets there just off to the east-southeast of Red Deer and then west-southwest of Calgary that could see upwards of 20 centimeters of snow. Still some uncertainty with how much snow we're getting here in Edmonton. It's very likely that we will get some. I don't know that we're going to get too much more than maybe 5 or 6, and it's probably more like about 2 or 3 centimeters of snow. There is a heavier pocket, though, potentially just off to the west-northwest of the Edmonton area, and then you saw that bullseye south of Calgary. Already seeing some light snow and some flurries up in the Peace Country and north of Edmonton, south of the Edmonton area. We've got some flurries as well. We'll see those flurries and periods of light snow move in here later on tonight. And then it's not going to be heavy, steady snow all day tomorrow, but every now and then we're going to get some periods of light snow, and that risk exists up until about 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. After that, just cloudy skies, giving way to some sunny breaks for Friday afternoon and a warm-up for Friday and the weekend as well. -3 tomorrow morning in Edmonton, -8 in Fort McMurray. Grand Prairie gets down to about -5 and -3 to start the day in Red Deer. 3 or 4 across the northeast, 2 in Grand Prairie, some heavier snow in the south, 1 for a daytime high in Red Deer. And we'll get to 1 for a daytime high as well. Back to 6 and 8 for daytime highs Friday, Saturday, and 5 for Easter Sunday with a chance of some scattered showers. Again, early bird prize deadline in the Full House Lottery. Support the Royal Alex and University of Alberta Hospital Foundations. Go to fullhouse.ca.
Thank you, Josh. Well, local governments are getting poor grades when it comes to helping Edmonton's homeless population. 1 year after Dan Johnstone, known as Can Man Dan, launched his Time for a Change campaign, he's giving the province an F. He's also giving the city a C-. According to Homeward Trust, nearly 4,000 homeless people are living in Edmonton. Johnstone says that far outnumbers the amount of shelter space in the city. He adds while politicians have been eager to meet with him, they're less keen to make changes.
I think compassion's being lost. I think empathy's being lost. And as a society, we need to wake up and just look at the streets, look at what's going on, and look at these people's lives who are being changed by drugs, who are being changed by alcohol, homelessness, abject poverty. They're never going to be the same afterwards, and we have to do something about it because the rate is not slowing down.
The city says homelessness is a complex challenge that no single organization can solve alone. The province says it leads the country when it comes to responding to homelessness. When we return, a look at some of the best pranks from April Fool's Day, featuring a PSA from one airline.
CTV News at 5 continues.
WestJet is taking action against barefoot bandits on its flights.
Bare feet on my flight, I'm shocked to see.
The airline put out this video for April Fool's Day. The zoo also had some fun today, showing new exhibits like Bigfoot and the Ogopogo. And that is our show for tonight. Thank you for watching. CTV News continues right now.